Hey everybody, what's up? This is Martez again. We're back at it. Um, just finished up my leg workout, which was absolutely crazy for me because I just added a whole bunch of new stuff, tried new things. So this is day one of my leg workout. I started doing 2 days of legs a week, so I'm just trying to get that size and get them stronger. That's all. Um, But pretty much what I wanted to do was I wanted to go back and just go back to about the first video. As far as me and the accident, I didn't, or let me say this. When I had the accident, my whole life, I've always played sports. I've always played baseball since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Um, Played football, basketball, ran track. I did everything. So, I mean, with all those sports, of course, you have working out and everything like that and training for those sports. But during those times, I never actually focused on working out. I just did it because that's what you had to do. And it wasn't until after the accident, probably maybe about a year or two after the accident, about a year, that's when I started getting serious the first time with working out, with lifting. I competed in powerlifting a year and a half after my accident, and I ended up winning that whole competition with a 285 bench press, a 405 squat, and a 575-pound deadlift, weighing in at, I believe I was 173, because of next week I had gotten talked into doing a bodybuilding competition by one of my boys. So I was getting ready for that the next week after that, and that was all within a year and a half after the accident. So like I was like really determined on just getting better, getting back to how I used to be, how strong I was, and everything like that. Um, and with sports, like that feeling that I had with sports, like how I felt about it, especially with baseball, um, that was just that was one of those things where I did not realize how good or how much talent I had at baseball before the accident. Um, and that's one thing to this day, I still look back and I still think like, man, I wish I really would have realized what I had or how good I was. Because if I would have realized that then I would have put all my energy and all my focus into just that sport okay, instead of doing everything I did as far as baseball, football, basketball, track, um, and so on and so forth. Because I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I could have made it somewhere. I could have did something with it. Um, and after I did the powerlifting competition, right after I won the whole thing, on the drive home, it's me, my boy who talked me into the bodybuilding competition. He did the powerlifting with me. He did good too, especially for his weight class and everything. It was me, him, and our trainer, who at that time was the world's strongest man, and he was all for me. Just keep powerlifting. That's all he wanted me to do. This and that. Well, right after I won, I told him, I'm look, like I'm sorry, but my heart's in baseball. He's like, okay, and what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I'm gonna start training for baseball. And He's like, okay. He's like, but you can still powerlift. I'm like, no, like I really would just want to focus on baseball. Like I'm trying to do something in baseball, and I want to see where this goes. So after that, he stopped talking to me. I didn't talk to him for, it's been years now. I haven't talked to him. That was back in, that competition was 2012. I haven't talked to him since then. And after that, I started training for baseball. Everything I was doing was baseball, but the doctors had told me that, and I told the doctors that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back and I wanted to play baseball, and they told me, they're like, honestly, there's a chance you may never play again. You may never be the same again, as far as your balance, as far as how you can play, this and that. So I told him, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll take the chance, and I was like, I'll train and everything, do on my own, and see what I can do. So I've been training, probably trained for about a year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years, and I'm training. I'm feeling like I'm getting faster again. I'm feeling like I'm getting stronger. It's feeling like things are coming back into play, but the biggest thing that's still wrong is my balance. With me having the serious head injury that I had, my balance was gone completely. Well, not completely gone, but it was probably at maybe about 55-60%. So like when your balance isn't fully there, one, you can't be as fast as you was, or as fast as someone else who's balanced. Two, your hand-eye coordination is not completely there as well. So like me, when I finally went down to these tryouts, went to a tryout for the Minnesota Twins and one for the Kansas City Royals. And Kansas City Royals, that was down in Virginia. Me and my dad stayed overnight at a hotel, and pretty much went there, and I I was feeling good and everything. I was a little nervous, but then come up on the field, they're hitting us fly balls. I felt like a little kid in the outfield. Like I knew exactly how to get the ball. I knew what angle I had to take to go get the ball. It's just that my body wouldn't perform exactly how I needed it to, and it was really like delayed. So I didn't do good on the aspect of that. And then when it came time to hitting, like I don't know what it was. I think it might have been maybe just my nerves as far as hitting, but me hitting, like before I went to these tryouts, I was almost back to normal, hitting the ball and everything with how hard I was hitting it and how far. But at these tryouts, I couldn't hit anything. So I think it was my nerves, and I was just nervous and everything like that. And then that was the Kansas City Royals tryout. Then I went to the Minnesota Twins tryout, and that was up in Minnesota, University of Minnesota. So my dad and I flew up there for that tryout, and that was on Father's Day. So, I mean, I love spending Father's Day like that, but I just wish it had a better outcome. But anyway, we get up there, and we're in all the athletes are in the dugouts. The coaches are right in the front of the dugouts. The head coach comes up to us, and we're all sitting there. He's like, okay. He starts going down the line from the end all the way down, and he's asking everyone where they're from. Everyone's saying, oh, somewhere around there or somewhere up there. He gets to me. I'm like, oh, I'm from Pittsburgh. He's like, oh, you Pittsburgh? He's like, damn. He's like, you came far for this. I'm like, yeah, you know I did. So then he's like, all right. He's like, I like that. So then he keeps going down. Well, after he gets down to the end, he starts at the beginning again, and he's like, he's asking everyone what their 60 time is gonna be, and he keeps going down the line, and he gets to me. I'm like, you know what? I could show you better than I can tell you. And I was at this time I was feeling confident, or I was feeling better, that I felt like I gotten most of my speed back. So I was feeling pretty confident. He's like, okay. He's like, I like that answer. He's like, all right. He's like, I can't wait to see. So, sure enough, he keeps going down, asking people, and they keep telling times. Well, that's the first thing we go do. So, he takes us over, or we all go line up and everything, and we're running our 60 times against another person. So, pretty much, it's me and this one kid, and this kid is supposed to be like the best one there. So we're on the line. They start the time and everything, and we take off. Well, sure enough, I had a horrible jump off the line. So the kid already started out in front of me. He got like 2 or 3 feet in front of me, and then running further, I just see the gap just getting bigger. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm just running. Sure enough, he finishes, and then I think I finished maybe 5 yards behind him. I'm like, man, like that's no good, especially after what I just told the coach. Like, I could show you better than I could tell you, and then I finished like this. So anyway, I just wiped that out of my head, and then next we went over to, they hit us fly balls and grounders and everything like that, and it was the same thing all over again. I knew exactly how to get the ball and everything like that, what angle to take, but my body would not perform. So like, it's, yeah, balance and just hand-eye coordination wasn't there, and it was the same thing for me for hitting as well. Yeah, so those were my two major league tryout experiences that I've had so far. That still has, I still always think about that. Still always think about giving another shot, going and trying. But I know that there's a deadline. Major league teams don't want to take older players or older guys, which I'm up there right now, so the chances would be, I'm not saying impossible, but they're pretty damn low. But it is what it is. So, moral of the story is, if you're good at something, recognize what it is, or try to recognize what it is, and focus on that particular thing, and put your heart and your mind and your body into it. And do what you love. That is the main thing. And for me, as that's what I love, sometimes things change, and when things change, you just have to be able to change with it, which is reason why now I am in fitness, or putting everything I have into fitness. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you guys today. That's been all, and guys, I'll be posting videos of my workouts today on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, guys, get a good workout in today, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you again.